single thing like this serious, like different comments here and there. And one part of me, I was really, really glad that the youth are actually interested or involved in knowing how it turns out and all of that. Even though they make light-hearted jokes out of it, but at least they are following the trend. They know something is happening and they are aware about it.
Yeah, the awareness is great. I mean, the level of awareness is great, and I pray that this continues, because really, this is the first stage. The delegates are choosing now. So whatever they choose, or whoever they choose rather, then we take it the next step. So they really want to know what is happening, from A to Z. And I love that. And I can only pray that the prayers we have prayed, it will come out. Because we want a Nigeria that works. And if we want a Nigeria that works, then the delegates that are part of Nigeria, should do their own part in ensuring they put in the right person. Not because somebody has given an instruction, not because somebody has induced them, but let them see that who is going to help me in terms of my own family. And not just my family, but the generations that come. Because the person who has induced them can help them now. But will that person help their future generation? So let's just leave it. I mean, they are still casting their votes, but let's just pray that everyone will do what is right. Everyone will do what is right.
All right. Let's just pray and hope that everyone will actually do what is right. So, this particular one, when I was following on the trend and everything that happened yesterday, the APC primaries, and this one caught me. And the headline is on the Punch newspapers: APC female presidential aspirants of steps.
Wow! Please don't go there. But let me listen to what you want to say.
Okay. You also say don't go there. I also felt that way. Like no. This did not have to happen again. But all this
honest.
So I'm going to take this one on the Punch newspapers. The All Progressives Congress first female presidential aspirant. First female presidential aspirant Uju Ohaniye has stepped down for the national leader of APC, Bola Tinubu. Now, this was announced yesterday at the primaries, and in her words, Nigeria needs a leader, and I decided to be the mother of the country. Nigeria is lacking women's expertise. I thank you all so much, but I found out that we need more time for that to happen. I am pleading with delegates to know that their votes are lifesavers. Think of your children and mothers before you vote. And she goes ahead to mention who she was stepping down for. And my point is just that at this point where for APC is one political party that people have always had the opinion of when it comes to fielding women or allowing women have like some kind of space in the party. They've not really done well. And now for the very first time in APC, you're having first female presidential aspirant, and this is happening.
Honestly, my heart is... I wouldn't say my heart is bleeding. I'm not happy. I'm just not happy.
It's very, very unhappy.
Because with PDP, even despite the fact that she had one vote, I still give my heart. I mean, I saw the way, I've forgotten her name now, even the way she carried herself. Yes, carry over. Even the way she carried herself to and fro the podium. You could see that this one meant business. So she got one vote, but hey,
there were other men that got one vote too.
Exactly. So, but now, look at HDC. Oh my God. This is a time for her, to shine and to represent us. But look at how she debunked it. For me, I think she debunked it. I believe and I know, and I'm saying it, that she did not go there to represent the women. There are two things to it. Number one, I know that quite a lot of permutations, quite a lot of coercing, a lot of negotiation was going on. Even despite the fact that we were watching, you understand? And then I do not know what happened, but later on we get to know there was having a lot of pressure on her. And don't be surprised, even the pressure can even come from women. I don't know. To say, you know what, step down. But you see, she should not have stepped down. Except maybe she is not there for the interest of Nigeria. She's there for the interest of herself. Because what did she say?
But Buki,
She said,
yes, you agree with me that when it comes to politics, the Nigerian political space has really not been fair to women. Just like she said, so many things probably has been ongoing within the party, and just imagine being the only woman there.
I totally agree with you, and that is why, for the mere fact that she picked up the phone, she got to this race. It shows she has courage. You understand? We still need to give it to her. But you see, I do not know what happened at that point. And that is why it's a lesson for we women. Maybe at that point, a lot of women were not there to support her. I don't know, but this is a case study that we have to look at. Because she had the courage to pick. She had the courage to keep on. She had the courage to go there, unlike the other man that did not even show up, at the convention. But she got there. She showed up. So what must have happened? You understand? And then, like I said, she's not representing us, because if I should break down that statement she made, that a mother or she wants to be a mother of Nigerians or whatever it is, and that she has looked at it, it is not right because they still need expertise. Let her talk for herself. Women are right. So if she says she is not right, so let her say, I am not right. Not that women are not right. Women are right. It's just a pity that let's learn from this. Let's know what happened. It's possible maybe a lot of women did not back her up in APC. You understand? Because I would have expected that when she was going, look at what they did for VP. They did not even allow him to talk. They were just there shouting, praising him, encouraging him. Maybe we should have done that for her as well. So that one will have encouraged her, apart from the fact that somebody is at his back to say, do not step down, we are behind you, go. So even if she had gone, obviously she would not have taken the ticket. Let's say, but that, she will have tested the water to say, even if it's just the women delegates that voted for her, she will have come up with a number. But these are lessons, and let's learn from it and move on.
Just like you said, that there are lessons to be learned in all of this. Now, let me remind us that this whole conversation around money politics, even INEC has come out to say that they are not impressed with the way money is exchanging hands in the course of preparing for the 2023 general election. And for what I know, when it comes to like the financial capability, women really do not have it when it comes to sharing or spending money around, like we've seen and heard allegedly in this period. So could it be a case of no money, no support, or something like that?
It could be that. There are many factors. It could be that. Because a lot of things are moving in and out that you are not aware of. But you see, women have it. We are 50% of the population.
Okay.
Look at all the women delegates. I'm still looking at my TV. If we get to the point where we, good men, talk to ourselves, which we have started, it's just that the water is not yet boiling, to say, whichever woman is there, women support. We must get to that point.
Okay.
And I think going forward now, any woman so that that I want to contest, let us begin to talk to ourselves. Women go there and vote. We got 50% of the population. So we have it. It is the men that will say, if you don't exchange hands, nothing will happen. But we women, we know what we are suffering. We know that if we have a country that works, Nigeria that works, that my children can feed, my children can go to the healthcare without money, and they'll be treated well. My children can go to school and they'll be taught well. You understand? And that everything is working out for me. Every sensible woman will vote. So we have it. It's just that yes, we might not have the money, but we have the resource. We have the resource. So we need to talk to ourselves, and that is why men will always say, you women, you're not even supporting yourself. Talk to yourself. But we're engaging ourselves. We believe it's going to be better. So let's not give up. She did not represent us well, no doubt about it. Let's talk about it. She did not represent us well. She's speaking for herself because women are ready to do it. Women are ready to do it. Yes. So for the others, as long as you are a woman or you are a lover of women, please, wherever you go, because now, the next thing they'll be doing representation, senatorial, and all that. Wherever a woman is, go and vote.
All right, thank you very much, Buki. Yes, I didn't get on this one. So now, from PDP, we've seen that Tari Oba Oliver is the only woman there. Then in this one, we have Uju Ohaniye. So let's talk about the need for us to have a female vice president. Like, Nigerian women are doing so well in every sector. But when it comes to politics, it seems as though women are just doing everything they can, but their efforts are not being recognized. And it's really, really sad because women have a whole lot to give in. I cannot imagine being a woman and I have my children in the house for more than 6 months due to one strike or the other, and they're just going back and forth and saying, oh, we are going to do this, we paid money into one account. I don't think women will sit on that table and clap hands to anybody doing that.
Yeah, you know what I feel? You know what I feel? I am looking at about 2 people, out of these aspirants, that my eye is on. I know that if they come through, they will speak a woman. They will speak a woman. And you see, it is even for their own interest in all the aspirants to pick a woman. Why will I say that? God who created us, except maybe they were not created by God. Check the global population, check the percentage. It is 50-50. It could be 49.1, 49, but you see it's 50-50. And if you look at it across board, even in Nigeria, it's 50-50. God is telling us something. That for you to have the proper system, you have 2 eyes. One eye cannot see it alone. So you cannot see things from a male perspective alone. You need the eye of the woman. Why do they trust us as our own makers? Why do they trust us as our own makers? There's something in us that they know. So we are saying, and let us even look at all the women that have led nations. We are proud of it that even the women that led nations during COVID, look at the reports we got from them. Look at the women that right now in all the sectors, even in Nigeria, let us not even look at international scene. In Nigeria, women that are leading industries, captains of industries, see what they are doing, blazing trail. That means we have it. So I want to believe that some of the aspirants will be full of wisdom to pick women as their vice president.
Okay.
So what we need to do now, every woman, all our voices, particularly those that have platforms or voices in the parties, all the stakeholders, all the so-called Babasale, whatever it is, we should begin to push for a woman as a vice president.
All right, thank you so much, Buki. It is 9 minutes to 8 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is the newspaper review on Women Radio. The newspaper review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers, and we get to analyze them with our analysts for the morning. And we have currently Buki Femi Ajala. And yes, we're just going over some of the things that we saw that played out at the APC primaries yesterday, and why the female presidential aspirant had to step down. Send in your comments on 070-317-56537. 070-317-56537. Yes, Adenike, your thoughts on the people who flag bearers of these parties in fielding women as their vice president.
Let me do first. Initially when I saw the story of the woman stepping down, I just thought to myself that you could never tell the potential that lies in going into that position when you wanted to. But stepping down now means killing everything. So for me, if it would really be something of applause
Okay.
if any of them would pick a female vice president, because it will be the first ever. And then until you've tested something, you cannot say it's not working. So I believe it's time for us to give women the opportunity. And women, I want to believe, they are stronger support. Women, we are naturally strong support. It's always said that behind every successful man is a woman. So sometimes it doesn't have to be a successful woman. So before now, there's been not so much to VPs and deputies. It seems, okay, is the president or the governor running the shots, and then it's looking like the VPs are just there. But I don't see that happen if a woman is the vice president, for example, because she would want to channel across, through that position and give voice to the voiceless and speak more for the women and children, and especially the vulnerable in the society.
I totally agree with you, because we cannot go on and on just making women feel like they are irrelevant. So women just get to come out and canvass for you, campaign for you, and all you do is just toss wrapper at them and give them some stipend to come out to support you. No, Nigerian women are saying, no, this cannot go on and on any longer. All right, so as we talk about the 2023 elections and preparation for this election. Now, Buki, the Nigerian youths right now, on one side yesterday, I was actually very happy. Buki, can you hear me? Yes, I was actually very happy yesterday that they were following trends and making comments and all. But some of the comments that I saw just goes to show that maybe they just want to just bant and cruise, like they call it, not necessarily anything serious. Now, this headline on the Punch newspapers here, apathy amongst youth worrisome, says INEC. Now, INEC has expressed concern over the lack of interest by youth in voting during elections. Yes. So I see a lot of celebrities, stars, role models that this youth actually look up to, trying to put in concerts, putting stuff together to ensure that people actually have their PVCs, like they have it. But it's one thing for you to have your PVCs, another thing for you to be able to come out and actually vote on the day of elections. And I'm just wondering if at the end of everything, people make all the noise, we talk about these things, get your PVC. On the day of election, youth no show face. It means that people who are available are going to make the choice for you. And wherever you are seated in your corner, it means you have to wait for another how many years before you can make your choice again. So this is us just saying that Nigerian youth need to do a lot better. Maybe people can start speaking to the youth within their space on the need for them to actually come out and vote. Not just that day they'll carry. There's a trend that I see when it comes to elections day. You just see people just sitting in their house, or some people will just, because of the roadblocks on the road, just bring out footballs and start playing as their own public. Yes, and just do something else, like it doesn't matter, what's my business?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And a lot of people have done some conversations. If we look at the last election, 18 million people took the vote and the voter's card. We understand, at least they collected, they registered. But we had 23 million. And of course, if you go on the INEC website, you will see the percentage. So, but my interest lies in that difference. In that difference, you find that a lot of youths were there. And like you said, most of them have that apathy. I mean, my vote do not count, my this, my that, and all that. But you see, it is changing. And why will I say it's changing? A lot of youths have found out that okay, if I do not go, I'm not going to have that mission that I want. Look at what happened. NSAS. It was a wake-up call. It was a wake-up call that, you know what, we're not going to leave it to these people. Let's wait and see. You find out that a lot of youths will be there on that day to vote. Already, even youths themselves are already organizing themselves in forms of NGO to ensure that the youths will participate. They are already driving towards a lot of voters registration and things like that.
Okay.
And then they've also analyzed it, that a lot of them we register in the campuses. But by the time we want to do the election, they are at home. So they are off the beat. So now that is why they are now saying that, thank God even the campuses are not on. They are now saying that, okay, you know what, just vote. Just get your PVC where you are going to stay. So I want to see that a lot of changes is going on, and we will not stop today. Love him. So if they love him, they have to support him. You understand? So they are also looking at what this APC will bring. If it's a lover of the youth, come on, the youth will do it. Or like you said, we all have to do our part in ensuring that every youth around us, we encourage them not just to take their PVC, but on that day to vote. And do you know something that occurred to me now?
Okay.
You know, in a house, you have dad, you have mom, and probably you have maybe about 2 or 3 youths. If the dad does not go to vote that day,
okay,
the elder is saying, we are going to not cast, blah, blah, blah. It will influence the 2 or 3 youths. But if the baba and the mama carry their leg, waka go the polling booth, we encourage the youth to do that. And also now that we have reforms in the electoral bill, so I believe that they will go. So we keep talking about it. But I believe that things are changing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Buki.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. So let's just pray that the remaining delegates, I know some delegates are already voted, but the remaining delegates, because God is the one that is seeing the overall thing. I am looking for that God factor thing, because we have been praying, and I'm looking for that God factor thing, that deliverer of Nigeria, and it will come to pass in Jesus' name. Thank you. Let's have a beautiful day, and we will hear good news in Jesus' name. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Buki. Thank you. Yes, that was Buki Femi Ajala on the newspaper review this morning with us, and very soon we'll be joined in by our other analyst, Nkechi Emmanuel Layode, as we talk about this issue. Yes, Adenike, what are your thoughts on the reaction of the response of the youth in looking forward to the 2023 general elections?
I just think, like she rightly said, every parent should encourage their children or their wards that are of votable age, and tell them what is, what might happen if they don't vote, and then begin to make them politically responsible, even within that sphere. Yes.
So it's up to the parents now.
Yes, to encourage our children, because when you hear these things on the street, you hear it from peers outside. It doesn't sink in on like when your parents call that there's a conversation.
We need to talk about something.
Yes, that when I was in XYZ class, my feeding allowance was maybe 2 kobo or 1 kobo. You explain from that point, this is what is obtainable now. That you see that I was spending probably 2 kobo, but now that thing I was buying with 2 kobo, 20,000 cannot buy it now.
Maybe when you explain it to them.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying, that when you break it down, tell them what was, what is, and what might likely happen if they don't become politically responsible. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Adenike. It is 8:08 on Women Radio 91.7, and this is the newspaper review. The newspaper review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers. And my name is Esther Laribe, and I've been speaking with Adenike Quadri. Our first analyst, Buki Femi Ajala, just analyzed some of the stories that we took first. And now we have Nkechi Emmanuel Layode joining us. Do want to send in your comments on 070-317-56537. Text and WhatsApp messages only 070-317-56537. You can join us live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM917. And trust me, now you have us in your pocket. So you can download the Women Radio mobile app on your phone and take us with you everywhere you go. Amazing, isn't it? I'm excited also. Yes, good morning, Sidney. Hello. Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning to everybody in the studio and to our newspaper and the family.
Yes, and I hope you enjoyed your getaway.
Yes, I did. It was very good.
All right. Yes, yes. Oh, what kind of play? What did they say about that? Mixed signal. Don't get right. Yes, I'm glad you got that opportunity to just get away and just do something different.
Yes, thanks.
All right. Yes, so I'm going to be starting off with this one. It's the conversation we're having currently on why kids actually need to come out to vote, not just collecting the PVC and keeping it because maybe one day bank will talk when you bring them, or somebody somewhere will just ask you to bring it if you don't have your PVC. But it's actually coming out to vote, knowing that your vote actually counts, is what we are saying. And I know you.
Absolutely. The excuses are over. What is the problem we used to have in the past is that you have somebody, an average youth working in a bank, who maybe comes at 7, that before the person gets home, depending on the position. This is just one example. And we have so many people who work in the mall. We have people all around that are working. Now, rightly so they should be working. And then you're supposed them to come alignment for one PVC in 1 PM on 1 week. It's not realistic. So I believe that people started to hear this companies, and we're starting to have some churches even put the PVC centers in their spaces, their place of worship. And yeah, there are youths that also doing the other movements. I know there's one happening in somewhere. A big thing happening in Lagos where you're having people mobilizing people, especially in call for it, it's easy, you don't need to struggle, you don't need to fight. So it's about time. And frankly speaking, this 2023 election, even though it's not going to be solve out everything in Nigeria, so I am still discussing disappointed. It should still be that you make the right choice. Not just that you should not make the right choice, but you shouldn't see that the person is not man that is coming in with the pillow. And with the pillow, this people will hope, and this one is even hoping. And by the way, we're still going to have maybe 1 or 2 years, depending on how fast the person is, to clear off debt and clear off burdens that this person has come to inherit. It shouldn't be something that this person, you just raise your hands in the air and everything is solved. That is on that spot. So voting is something that has been made easier, and we use this medium to say, let us control, let's make those people who have made it easier for those organizations. Religious houses should consider that we can see by this is not enough. The one that we have is not enough. There are many other places that can still invite this culture to make getting PVC easier. That's the first step.
All right. For that, let's take some of the messages we have here. It's going to be a win-win situation if a woman is chosen. My own is to collect whatever I can from APC and PDP before election, and I will vote for.
That is not a tragic one.
Abiola Enikajao. Okay, Abiola. So, Sage, now this part where Abiola said he will collect whatever he can from these 2 political parties, but he knows what he wants to do. Like he stated his message here. My point is, if everybody gets to say that I am going to collect what I can collect, that some way or the other, you want the sugar, but you don't want to, like, how do I even put this? If you don't want something, say you don't want it.
You're encouraging corruption.
There's this thing in Yoruba, I just cannot remember how they put it now, that what you're not going to eat, don't smell it.
Don't smell it. That's it.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, but it just fell off my hair. So what you're not going to eat, if you know you are not going to be, it's either you are for or against. So just be in one spot. Don't go taking and collecting around.
We are trying to discourage corruption, money politics.
And we're saying we're going to take and vote for one person, Signal.
Yeah, so it's what we're talking about here now. It's a good example. I'm happy that Abiola actually shared it, because it feels as though even if he didn't share it, something was going to consider doing, or doing So sharing it is just going to use to help us to talk about it. This is what we talk about when we say the vision's leadership cannot be higher than the quality of the citizen. It is easier to jump and shout at the people that are holding power. But when you start with whether it's collecting money, collecting a house, or even collecting food, or even if it's agreeing to lunch, that's going to compromise. And you say, hey, I'll just do it like that, I'll just do it like that, I will see what I want to do. It's what you define as integrity. You're saying what you're doing and meaning what you're saying. You're not meaning what you're saying. When you spoke to the person with God, and the person understood that based on what it is that they have exchanged with you, which is value, they believe is value, they are going to do something. But you say, hey, I will collect it. But every time I collect it, I'll give it to the third, and I'll still do what to do that I have to do. You don't need to do that. You're not showing character or integrity. If you don't want, if you don't want to be associated, or if you don't want to vote for them, or you don't need to get it at all. And it is not because when you are doing it, somebody will see you. You are not doing everything so that somebody will see you. So that you are good or bad. This is everything we are talking about. And then the people that we are seeing and driving people around, this is how they started. Nobody started that, let them announce on the newspaper, let them not talk about it on the review. That's why it started. It started with secret people, they are not seeing until they saw him, until they saw, and they started to lie to provide them because they didn't know what to do again. So that is what I want to say, and that is something for us to consider. But the thing is, like Akela has spoken, but many people in that post or people, whatever it is I want to call that, are thinking that way, and I like, it's not my business, people have chopped their chocolate, I want to talk myself. I'm not continuing like this. I didn't say when I go to the newspaper review, I try to talk about every week. We cannot continue like this. Is it going to be easy? I think it's easy. No, nobody is here talking about things like this easy. But we can not continue like this if we want to change the nation. Because another thing about other people, I think people on Twitter, from morning to night, they are sitting there abusing with different hashtags. If there's no supply, there's no demand of supply. However, it was the point of it is the supply is whether it's claim that they are buying people, they are trying to this conscience, or whatever claims it is because they are demand. And some of these people that are in the demand or the receiving supply, whether the end of the chain they are on, they will claim that there is one challenge or the other. You see, whether you are in Nigeria or not in Nigeria, if you are following payment, there are also things happening in other parts of the world. It's not only Nigeria. So if this country or some people want to use problem or challenges to be an excuse, because when the rotating is separate. Yes, you have some people that are tired of so it's not as if these ones who want to make an excuse will not be the ones leading the ball. No, but we are going to government. It's for us to choose to be.
All right, thank you. Yeah, another message here is from Rusenja meeting in Lakbere, and this one says it is obvious Nigerian electorates are not ready to take this country back from the two major political parties that have been mismanaging her limited resources. These parties have nothing to offer than continuous failures and excuses that they have been offering since 1999. For me, he goes ahead to mention a political party, saying that political party and her presidential may not be a bad idea. Well, another message here is from Olusha Nikodu. This one says, I went to bed around 2 a.m., up by 6 a.m., and people are still voting. How bad? 2,300 people can vote within an hour or two. All wrong now. I'm trying to read this the way he probably thought about it when he was sending it. All wrong now. Additional Nikodu. This one says, top of the body to you guys in the studio. Thank you. On the APC presidential primaries, I hope everybody is seeing how transparent the APC primary is, and some aspirants playing politics by stepping down for Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the podium in front of the national delegates from all across the country. I think this is a welcome development. He also goes ahead to say, on the issue of insecurity, my advice to the incoming president of Nigeria come 2023 is that the only way out centralize the security apparatus by giving permission to have their own separate police for them to be able to secure their people from all of these terrorists and other criminals across the country. This other message here is from Chooks in Ikeja, and this one says, I think Nigerian women should consider it as a moral and civic duty to support their fellow women seeking or running for elective offices at all levels, because they are sitting for the greedy men to have their ways, and when things go wrong, it is the women and their children that suffers it the most. So for the mothers and the youth to mobilize themselves, I am for the mothers and the youth to mobilize themselves in order to at all levels. Sage now on this one. So the first APC presidential aspirant, female presidential aspirant, stepped down yesterday for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this one has gotten a lot of people talking, especially women. Like, you go that far, and honestly, when we want to talk about it, let's try as much as possible not to blame this woman, because so many things actually go on behind doors that you don't know about. So you can only say from your own point of view.
The act alone, definitely, like you said, like you just said, and in reality, whether bad governance, average governance, or excellent governance, there's still a lot of things that we do know behind the scene, but we definitely will talk about the information that we know. But how the woman came out is like some sort of bad hand in the way. Now, she may have to find around if she will to explain what did not happen. But there are so many theories that have come out. Theories like what she planted, which she don't really want to be. Why would you come and embarrass people so that it's better if you didn't come out? So many of these things that have come out. And especially in the generation where we are shouting, hey, let's do this for women, let's do this for women. When they speak, because I watch people, wasn't expected for me. When the speech started and all that, I wasn't quite sure where it was going. Okay. But I was like, okay, let us see what woman is willing to offer. At the end of it, what the act we saw this early this morning is an act of what it may show to the world as some sort of seriousness. It will represent now this is this woman's stand. She has picked, she has decided, she has made a choice for living destiny to her. I think some of the reasons she shared. Okay. But I'm seeing how it's coming across the world, like the woman gender not ready, all that. So what I would say is, let us not allow the externals, especially for women who want to lead in the political space, not allow the externals to take your own. You are not led by what one person did or what one person did not do. Yes, there is a goodness of standing on the person's shoulder. But that is not what you should. That is not what should be. You should be driving you. You should be driven from within and with your own purpose and direction. Despite what party you are in or what position you are going for, because if you going to, there will be have something to talk about. You need to do that. You keep going if you have.
All right, thank you, Sidney. Yes, another message here is from Rosa Matthew, and this one says, Bishop Daniel is only a reflection of the rot going on in many churches, as many unreported rape cases, domestic violence, and other immoralities are happening on daily basis. Yet Nigerians still place premium on these hoodlums parading themselves as men of God, as to the heavens. I think this particular comment, Rusanje is responding to this headline on the Punch newspapers where it says Lagos bishop allegedly rapes female pastor twice and threatens victims. Adenike, when we talk about rape, domestic violence, and cases like this, Rusanje said something that we place premium on these people. Some people have now seen their religious leaders as these people can never do wrong in their eyes, even when clearly everybody see them that this thing is wrong. But just because you hold this person in high esteem, you think, oh, this person is a custodian of this person cannot do this. So they find it very hard to call out these people. And I've had cases where some children will tell you they go for some kind of practice they do over the weekend, and somebody is Yes, practices in religious centers, and they just get to harass them, and nobody is saying anything about it. So
you see that sometimes these children report to their parents, and their parents will say, no, keep quiet. How can you say a man of God is... But the truth is, these people are men of God, like men before God. They are not God of men. And I just feel that there's no perfect person. And there's a place of the call of God upon your life, and there's a place of the character. So it behoves you as the man of God to align your character to the call of God upon your life. So when we see these things happen, it just goes to say how should I say they are not dead to themselves yet. Yes, and it's a society where people hold spiritual leaders in extremely high esteem, and so when they make mistakes, a part says, oh, this person did this and that person did this, and then there's another part that says, no, it's not possible, man of God, our Father in the Lord,
please, amen. All right, Sage, now yes, your contributions on this one that Rosalie has raised.
Yes, I didn't get the question clearly.
Yes, so
just summarize it.
So Rosa just sent in a message saying that Bishop Daniel is only a reflection of the what's going on in many churches, talking about all reported rape cases, domestic violence, and other immoralities going on within religious centers. And now this is as a result of this headline on the Punch newspaper saying Lagos Bishop allegedly rapes female pastor twice and threatens victim. Like, you go ahead to commit a crime twice and you still want to threaten the person. And I think this is coming from the point of, even if people get to hear about it, or you know, start playing the card of this person is a religious leader, maybe you start hearing, or maybe some kind of creature was trying to perpetrate its work through him. And I'm just wondering why make such excuses? You're an adult. Own what you've done and own the consequences too.
Well, so this is, unfortunately, thank God that this one was carried and reported. But this, yes, when you say the reflection, this is what is happening across society. Now, this spotlight is on a religious person and a religious man, which unfortunately is quite sad. Without if I begin to get into that, it will open another conversation entirely, because now the just been trending, which is really shameful. And that shows that a lot of people need to do homework before they get into that space as leaders, because clearly many people are not ready for the role that they occupy. What about the reporting, the cases happening? Yes, it happens, and that is why I thank God for the BFM, because there's a platform to continually drop the number, to continually raise awareness, and even other platforms, NGOs, as well, continually help to raise awareness. But this is something that is happening. I would tie it back to this, and then we can move on to the other maybe question and this talking on, which is this breakdown of family. So within my own steps, and together with my family life association, I mean my professional practitioner, counseling therapy association, we have this conversation of how we help people to understand how many of the things that are happening in the world are a breakdown of the family unit. It is nice to talk about every other thing and many other things, but if you go back and introduce this lady, which family is she from, there is a probability that the mother is not present, the father is not present, or she didn't them and they are both not still present in her life. And so there's a difficult, because they are missing something in their family, they go to community, which is religious bodies, to try and find this missing piece. And then they can be endeared and endangered by such. Whatever the case may be, by such people, because they are vulnerable and they found themselves in this situation because of something that was missing. Not just a conversation. If I'm looking at it like this, we would build one quality community, whether you are adopting the person or you are even in a community of orphans or adopted people, or you are building a family, or you want to start a family, you would know that it takes a lot of work, and for people of your presence and excellence to do a lot in the life of that person or those people that you are raising, and we can begin to curb all of this, because many of these people prey on people who have identity challenge issues, or that or actually even if there is stability. But I hope that we look at it from the root and what and how we can start solving this.
All right.
For an actual result.
All right. It is 23 minutes past 8 on Women Radio WFM 91.7. In case you're just joining us, this is the newspaper review, and the newspaper review is where we get to review the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers. And yes, you're welcome to send us your comments, send us your contributions via text or WhatsApp messages on 070 317 56537. 070-317-56537. My name is Esther Laribe, and I have with me Adenike Quadri. And our current analyst is Nkechi Emmanuel Layode Signal. And we're looking through some of your messages that we have here and taking them. This message here from Tony in Birmingham, and this one says, here in the US, people run for political office only when they have something positive to offer and when there is no charge for nomination form at all. It also says, imagine the same individual who has previously claimed that he made a man who is a brilliant professor at a very young age. By the special grace of God, Nigeria will survive beyond 2023. Thank you, Tony, for your message.
That's quite deep.
Yes, Nigeria will survive beyond 2023. Yes, so I said a lot of times that it just seems as though when we talk about the 2023 elections, people forget that there is life before the elections and there's going to be life after. Like, so many things are happening right now. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody's saying anything. Before I miss out on this message here, there's a message here from Abiola Nikeja, and he says, 3 days after the Owo massacre, nobody has been arrested. Do you think it is high time we start using CCTV in religious centers also? So, a lot of comments on social media has sparked up the conversation around leaders being insensitive to the plight of the people. People lost their lives, and we had people having some kind of gathering here and there in the country as though nothing happened. That we've come to that point where we just see these things when it happened as though
nothing happened.
As though nothing happened, as though like it's a normal thing. And sometimes, I must say this, that there are times when you just think about these things, or you're putting figures together, or trying to just look through some reports, and you're really just wondering, like all of these things happen to people. Like, people going through all of this. People are going through these things. And it's actually, like, my heart bleeds when I think about these things, actually.
Yes. So are you talking about the general happenings or a specific one?
The general happenings, this Owo massacre, because this particular one, for somebody to boldly walk into a religious center, it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot to the kind of audacity. Like, there's some places that normally, being the kind of people that we are, we're very religious when it comes to culture. We want to take it very, very seriously. But for people to put out all consequences and whatsoever sense of humanity or anything, and just go ahead to still carry out this act in that center, it just means that some people have lost it.
Sure, absolutely. That's very important. Yeah, that's why, because I follow the speech and everything yesterday. I'm still going to follow it after people and know that I'm still following it. I was so surprised at some of the people just talking yesterday. I was really surprised because in 2018 election, I was following this board at the American Digital Review. I also basically found it in something. Let me tell Esther, I'm coming. I want people to use this time for instance. You are watching it, you are following this quite all right. But you're going about work, if you're going about life, you're not going to do that. It's the same way it's going to be with the election. So I'm starting out with that continuous mention of that so that people can also begin to say which way can I go, rather than waiting and just waiting for one person to come and be the god of all solutions, and people will be disappointed because that's not going to happen. When the person shifts some change, if people vote rightly, yes, but if the person now solve all of your problems, no, including your private problems, no, I think some people are expecting that. if you've got problems in your own life, you can at least start by solving it. There's your other point of what is going on in the country. That's what woke everybody up on Monday, because it happened on Sunday. It's one of the things, one of the many things. Unfortunately, let's say so as if it's something that happened to talk about. But when there's nothing that has been going different, you can't expect a different result. One of the things that I will start to think of my boss on my new year to do. One of the things that the difference between somebody was saying something on Monday and it really stood out. The word difference between things happen every year. The word difference between what happens in the US and what happens in Nigeria is catch the culprit. And yes, it is true that things happen everywhere, which is true. But what happens at the capital, us in the country, we're not able to catch everybody, we're not able to hold anybody.
Thank you.
We're not moving forward, we're not moving backward, we're just stuck. And that is something that we need to pay attention to. So I'm wondering whether they're praising this person has done this, and I'm wondering that they understand that we don't get it. So that's where we are. Now just try to a different result of trying catching conflicts and building justice, but we can begin to see a different outcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Sejinel, for joining us this morning. Do have a pleasant day.
Thank you. Thank you,
All right. Yes, this is all we can take on the newspaper review this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your text and WhatsApp messages. Do well to join us again tomorrow at 7:30 on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Esther Alaribe, and I've had with me Adenike Quadri. Do have a pleasant day, Adenike.
Yeah, Esther, it's been a lot.
Yes. Good morning, Nigerians.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
They keep wondering, say I'm perfect, how I'm so sometimes just slow me down, but I'm
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience that keeps you one step ahead in all Wi-Fi network.